Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my story, how I was able to manifest my dream partner, in fact, my husband, using Dr. Joe Dispenza work. First, I want to give you the backstory. I was actually manifesting the one for years. For years, I was single, and for years, I was sort of looking for love. I was chasing love, if you know what I mean. I was this high achiever woman that was building her success, her career as an attorney. And I was pretty much in this masculine energy most of the time, because if you know my story, you probably heard I moved to US with just $700 as an immigrant who barely spoke English. And so I was really under pressure for years to build the lifestyle of my dreams, to graduate law school, to become a licensed attorney, and then to start a law firm. And so I was using a lot of masculine energy. And because of that, subconsciously, I was actually in this masculine energy. Whenever I was actually manifesting love and partner, I was not knowing coming from masculine energy. And as you know, for us to be able to manifest that beautiful union, yin yang of the feminine, divine feminine, masculine, we have to actually be in our feminine first. And so, because I was a lot in my masculine, somehow I was always manifesting the wrong partners. But these partners were actually showing me the lesson that I needed to learn about myself. And because of these lessons, I finally got it. And this journey of self-discovery and finding myself really led me to starting these different meditation retreats. And one of them was actually Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I remember specifically that when I learned how to actually tap into quantum field because of his work, I realized I was doing it wrong. Because whenever I was chasing love, whenever I was controlling how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, I was being in my masculine. And the true feminine is to be able to surrender and is to be the one who is attracting things to her, not the one who is chasing. All the time, these energies that I was in were kind of reversed. And so I realized that instead of me actually chasing or looking for love, I had to just stop and pause and go within. Why? Because as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, and actually Einstein said this, that the field, meaning the quantum field, is dictating the matter, not vice versa. That means the quantum field, your code, your blueprint in the quantum is dictating your outside reality. Therefore, the universe is just a hologram. The reality is just a hologram. What you're experiencing in 3D is just a holographic image of what is your blueprint in 5D. And my blueprint was that I was not vibrational match to my soulmate. I was not vibrational match to love, because I grew up in family. It wasn't necessarily the perfect reflection of the kind of soulmate relationship I was looking for. So I didn't really have that blueprint. I knew that I'm looking for soulmate, that it's going to feel certain way. And I knew it all along, but I didn't really have a proof in my close surrounding, in my proximity. I didn't really know that many people who were living that kind of experiencing that kind of beautiful relationship. I just knew in my heart that how I wanted to feel. I felt it, I knew it, and I knew there is a potential for it. Whenever I was tapping into my heart, I felt this is how it's going to feel. So the potential was there. And I needed to actually match that frequency of that potential in 5D in order to actually manifest it in 3D. So after those years of searching, trying to find the one, trying to manifest the one, I basically surrendered and I stopped. And I stopped completely searching for love. And it's a very funny story because this happened during pandemic. I was visiting actually my parents in Slovakia, and I was joking because it was in the middle of lockdown, and I was joking like, how can I manifest the one if I'm literally in lockdown and I'm not even going on dates? So I'm not even meeting people. And even if I meet someone, it's probably not going to be here because this was like in the middle of nowhere, small village. And I knew like I'm not looking for Slovak guy. Like I am actually living in the US for over 17 years at that point. So I knew that's not what I'm looking for. I was thinking this is a beautiful opportunity for me to test if this work is for real. And so instead of actually trying to think about it, trying to find the one, I stopped and I did something different, completely different. And I turned inward. I started to do the work. I would meditate and I would get to that place of nothingness or blackness, the way Dr. Joe describes it, into the void. And I would just feel how I wanted to feel when I'm with him. Because this is important. If you have a checklist, which is also important to write down your checklist. But in my opinion, what's even more important is how you actually want to feel when you are in a relationship with him, how you want to feel when you are experiencing life together, how you want to feel when he is next to you. And that feeling is going to actually dictate the code, and that code is going to manifest in your 3D reality. And so tap into your heart, because in your heart, there is your answer, what you're really looking for. And don't settle. I have a program called Queen of Hearts that goes deep into this. If you feel called, you're absolutely welcome to sign up. There is going to be a link in description. Because in that program, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know how I manifested the one and how you can do the same, especially if you're a heart-achiever woman. Let's continue. What I did was I tapped into that feeling how I wanted to feel, right? How I wanted to feel when I'm with him. Instead of focusing on checklist, which is basically coming from your mind, I tune into the feeling, how I want to feel when I'm with him. And then I would play the scene in my mind, in my mind's eye, how I'm going to live, how the life looks like, what I'm doing, and how I'm feeling. Again, very important. The feeling is the key. And then I just surrendered, meaning I would not try to date anybody. I would not communicate with anybody. I knew that I am looking for the one. Like I was not even available to just manifest boyfriend. I was available to manifest husband at that point in my life. I was just no longer available to play the game and waste my time. Like I knew what I wanted. So I was very clear. Therefore, I said the checklist is important. You can absolutely write down the checklist. Well, what is more important is how you're going to feel when he represents that person from that checklist. Here's what happened. After I was actually practicing meditation, changing boxes meditation, if I remember correctly, use meditation that resonates with you. It doesn't necessarily has to be Dr. Joe's meditation. You can use anybody's meditation as long as you are able to tap into that feeling. Because when you go to that void, which is the 0 point, meaning you are nobody, no one, no thing, and you are not associated with your current physical body identity, because you merge with the unknown, you merge with the universe. That's the 0 point. And when you go to that void, meaning it's deep meditative state, you basically then tap into that emotion, how you want to feel when you are with your partner. That's the key, because if you are still in the beta state, meaning you're still analyzing and thinking, you are not there, and it requires practice. That's exactly what I did. And then I surrendered, like meaning I would not do anything. I was not putting any effort. I was not trying to search for him. I was just completely trusting universe that it's going to be delivered to me, and it's going to be delivered in a way that I cannot even understand. And the exact same thing happened, because this was during lockdown, during pandemic. And guess what? My husband is also originally from Slovakia, and he lives in the US just like me. And back then he was actually traveling to Slovakia, visiting Slovakia. And he actually purchased my book that was published during pandemic in Slovakia. And I still remember I was wondering, why am I publishing the book now in the middle of pandemic and lockdown? I couldn't even do the proper book launch. But obviously this was one of the reasons. Like he actually bought the book, he contacted me, and we met. And right away we knew that this is it. 3 months after that, he proposed. 3 months later, I was married. And so this gives you exact proof that quantum leaping is totally possible. Because for me, after 80 years of being single, I was able to manifest my fiance and then husband within very short period of time. And guess what? After we got married, right away, I was pregnant and we welcomed our beautiful daughter, which was also another miracle, but it was part of my manifestation because I always knew I wanted to have family. What I did was clear proof that the manifestation works through quantum field. It works without effort and it works very fast if you're ready. And when I say if you're ready, meaning that means that you have to remove all the conditions, all the blocks that are right now holding you back. Because when I look back, I certainly had conditions, I certainly had these limitations within me, and I was the one who was sabotaging the manifestation of my soulmate. And if you want to learn more, everything I'm actually sharing in that program, Queen of Hearts, because you might think that you are not manifesting him because it's not the right time, but in fact, it's you who is putting certain conditions in place, or perhaps you are the one who is coming from the masculine energy. And if you're coming from masculine energy, that means that you are not in love with who you are. That means you are not in your beautiful feminine energy that you absolutely must be if you want to meet your divine masculine. That program is going to rewire your limiting beliefs. It's going to actually upgrade your identity and it's going to activate your feminine energy so you can become vibrational match to your soulmate. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think and I'll see you in the next one.